hello everyone. This is our Monday night Arbonne Live. However, we had a bit of technology issues, and so I'm coming through Zoom with these two amazing rock stars that are so dear to me. I met them a little over a year ago when they had promoted to regional vice president, and I met them at a VP event, I believe. Wasn't it, Tracey and Tony?
It was, Lynn.
And I just, you know, when you meet people and you just feel this connection, and it's just like, I just felt like I needed to be with these people. And it's like, I felt like I had to kind of mother them a little, not mother them, but it's like, okay, they were new because they had just gone RVP and they were at the VP event. And I just wanted to make sure that they felt this glow of what it was like to be a VP, because A, it's cool, but B, there was a certain energy about these two that I thought, I need to know these two. So let me introduce you to Tony and Tracey Clarke. They are an amazing couple, and I don't want to take any thunder away, but you two, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you for your time, and this is what Arbonne's all about, because these two serve from their heart. They reap no financial benefit from offering this time, this golden time that they're offering my team, but that's what Arbonne's about, and I would do anything for them as well. So, first of all, you two, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Oh,
Absolutely, Lynn. Thanks for that beautiful introduction.
It's so nice to be here, and just thanks to everyone for your patience. Like, you know, we're all a bit of only a little bit older generation, so maybe it was us and we couldn't see a button, or maybe there was no button, but it doesn't matter, Lynn, because we're here, and it's just so great to be here. Thank you. But I look back to when we met, Lynn, and you've just been such a beautiful supporter and advocate for us, and just someone who's we absolutely love you. You're an amazing role model, and we feel like you've taken us under your wing and you've showed us the ropes, and I love that about Arbonne. I love our culture, and I love everything that we stand for, and it's a privilege to be here with you guys tonight, so and with you, Lynn, so thank you.
Absolutely, Lynn. You had me at your backpack speech at GTC the year previously. You had me then, and you know what I love about this business? We're just greater together, right?
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So much.
So what was the question?
Tony came up to me, he said, I just loved your talk in Vegas and everything, so that was so good. So you guys, what were you doing before Arbonne crossed your path?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, Matt, you want to go first?
You go first. Ladies first.
Isn't he such a gentleman, Tony?
Ladies first.
Completely different to health and wellness, skincare, makeup, nutrition. Completely different to. I was changing lives in a different way. My background is banking, and so I've been in corporate my whole career, so almost 30 years. Joined as a teller and climbed the ladder to where I was a state manager, leading a large team. I had about 500 staff, and I had a big job, and I absolutely loved it. It was great being able to sort of make a difference with customers and with our team in that way. But what I didn't love was the fact that I spent a lot of time at work and a lot of time away from family, away from Tone and away from Zaki, my stepson, and just the travel away and just not being here, that was really starting to take its toll. We never thought that this was something that we were going to do. And if you had said that, you know, it's been about 2.5 years that we've been in this business, if you had said that this is where we'd be, I would have just said you were mad. But it's transformed our life. We'll talk more about that in a little while, but it's transformed our life in the most amazing way. But I was that girl on the sort of hamster wheel a little bit, you know, working long hours, busy, and never really felt like I had any time, and I had no idea how that was going to shift. I actually had no idea that I was even looking for it to shift, because I thought that was what my lot in life was going to be, that I would retire just working those long hours, and you know, that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
How about you, Tone?
My story, Lynn, I have a retail background. I actually had a chain of surf stores. I'm a passionate surfer, and I was living the dream with my chain of surf stores, and I really loved it because it satisfied everything I needed. But the one thing that was missing was there were so many fixed costs, and I tell this story quite often, that sometimes I had a business that was turning over $5 million a year. Sometimes the junior took home more money than I did because you had massive rents, you had massive stock levels. And eventually what happened was that my stores were decimated by people buying online. So it was at that point I knew that if I was to have a future in business, I had to have a business that was online that aligned with my values of health and wellness, but was still relationship based because I just love people. And so Arbonne came along and it kind of ticked all the boxes, and I didn't realize that it was the vehicle I was looking for, but it did. It ticked every box, and I thought, when we started using the products, I thought, this is the business of the future. And that's kind of a few other stars lined up, and I sold off the surf businesses eventually, and we started with Arbonne. And the lives, we measure our success in Arbonne just on the lives we've transformed and changed. And that for me is the gold in this business, that you have the opportunity to do that.
So I do need to take note that you are going to teach me how to surf now that I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know about you. Okay, so I do need to read. Okay, so all right, tell us, how were you introduced to Arbonne?
Yeah, interesting story, Lynn, because it was actually through my girlfriend, her friend Sharon, who is executive area manager, Sharon Gleason. And so her and I have been friends since high school, and there's another friend, Mandy. The three of us have caught up since high school, roughly every 6 months or so, go out for dinner. Sharon gave me a sample of our beautiful skincare 6 months before we joined. And that sample sat in my bathroom for 6 months. And I didn't use it, right? And so it was actually after my dad passed away, we were out for dinner again, and my other friend Mandy, I just said to her, "You look amazing. What are you doing? What have you been doing?" And she said, "Well, you know that sample that Sharon gave us? I've been using it." And I was like, oh, because every day that sample sat in my bathroom, I'd kind of look at it and I'd go, "Oh my God, I probably need to use it," but I was just not using it for whatever reason. I sort of stuck to what my non-routine of skincare was. But after Dad had passed away, Lynn, what happened was I made the decision I wanted to get healthy, because Dad had a disease that turned his skin to stone, and it was hideous. And yeah, totally. And what we found was that he had a lot of toxins in his body, and I was so close with my dad. And so at that time, you know, when things like that happen to you, it's a real sort of decision point in your life. And for me, I said, you know, I want to get healthy. Life's too short. And I'm out for dinner with Sharon, and I'm choosing all the healthy things. And Sharon then said to me, good on her for not giving up on me, right? She said to me, "Trace, do you realise it's not only what you put in your body, it's also what you put on your body, with your skin being your largest organ?" And I had no idea. And so that was the point kind of when I became more open-minded. Tony and I were already looking for stuff that was more pure and more safe because of what had happened to Dad. And so that was when Sharon came around. We kind of did a bit of an audit on all our stuff. We were about to, remember, we weren't looking for anything. We were about to place the biggest preferred client order she's probably ever had, because we were going to switch over everything once we realised what all the toxins were that were in everything that was in our bathroom. And then she just asked a really smart question, which is, do you know anyone that's looking to build an extra income on the side? Now, we weren't, but I was politely just thought, how much can you make in this thing? And I thought it would just be like a little side thing that would maybe be just a couple of $100 a month. But when she told me that the best in this are earning more than what I was earning full-time as a state manager of a bank, that's when my ears pricked up, and she said, and they're doing that work in part-time hours. And Tony and I looked at each other and we just thought, well, if these products are that good, and this business model is fantastic, we wouldn't want to not share this anyway. Why not? Let's just see what happens. And we jumped in, and that's kind of our story.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
That power of a sample, and I think that we often don't realize the power of a sample. We hand it out, but then also the power of the follow-up, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
100.
Okay, so how, all right, so Tracey tried this sample, all right? So how did this come about that both of you decided to do this?
Yeah.
Right, well, remember I said, Lynn, that I didn't know that Arbonne was the vehicle I was looking for, okay?
Yep.
So the story goes, and this is quite interesting because I'm sure this is familiar, so if we get any guys that happen to chance on this call, Tracey actually said, well, we need to go to a Discover Arbonne event. And I was kind of like, oh my God, this is going to be one of those, it's just going to be all about the girls. And believe it or not, I got to the Discover Arbonne of the beautiful Felicia Culitano. My worst fears were realised then, because I walked in and I was right. There was 100 women and I was the only guy.
Most guys would go score. You have a beautiful wife.
Well, I tell you, if it had been a nightclub and I was a single guy and it was 20 years earlier, maybe the story would end different about now, right? But anyway, I thought, well, if there's that many beautiful people here, there's got to be something to this business. There's got to be something to these products. So I listened through the DA and I thought, well, if these products are so good, these look like really smart, articulate people, right? And I'm kind of like a serial entrepreneur. I can't help myself. I love to create things.
Which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about your next step, but keep going.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, if these people are really super intelligent people, I need to know what's going on here. And so we had all the products delivered and we started using them. And when we started using the products, it's like, bam, this is it. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony, I'm going to segue because you just said something that you are really an entrepreneur, that you can't help that. Where did that come from? Because there's a lot of people on this call that maybe they don't realize, or they haven't connected the dots that they too are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
How did that come?
I think where it stems from, Lynn, was I have a background of working for the government. I joined the Navy when I was 15, and then I joined the police service after that. I was a police officer for many years, and they have structures, and I was a bit like a square peg in a round hole in a way. I always had this yearning that I wanted to create a life by design, a life on my own terms. So I always had this thing, and even when I was a police officer, I used to have these little businesses on the side. I was always kind of doing stuff. I was always busy. And so when like I told you earlier that I left the police force and I set up a very successful surf chain. And after that, I knew there was something else had to come along. And I didn't know Arbonne was the tool that I was looking for. But for anyone who has just a thought that there's something more they could be doing, anyone who has just a tiny bit of DNA that says, I'm not happy with what I'm doing, there's got to be something better out there, then, I would just say, look at this incredible opportunity, because we could never guess what we've been able to achieve. And honestly, we haven't done anything extraordinary. We've just led with passion and belief.
So how do you work your business? Tell us how you work your business.
The simple business model, Lena, it really is the simple business model. That's one of the things we love about it, is just the three things, which is stop, start, share. So we have simply just stopped buying products from the supermarket, from the department stores. If Arbonne sells it, we buy it from our own online store. And then we just have started using the products and Arbonizing our life, which is really easy because the products are amazing, and really getting our own transformational story and really just, being the best version of ourselves using these products, and then sharing that with others and teaching it and training them to do exactly the same thing. And that is the fundamental simplicity of this business model. And that's one of the things that really attracted us to it, was that even though we have no experience in health and wellness and no experience in skincare, makeup, nutrition, sports products, what we do have experience in is using products. And so we can use products and then just simply by loving what we're using, we can share it. And that's really how we've built our business, is just adopting that simple model, which Arbonne has, really given us. It's a business in a box with all the tools, but it really comes down to that. And I think if we don't overcomplicate it, we can build a massive business just with that business model.
Absolutely, Lynn. If we weren't consultants in this business, we would still share the hell out of these products.
Yeah.
So it's so good.
And this business too. It's like so many people are like me, stuck on that corporate hamster wheel, or like Tony, looking for something else, stuck in a business that maybe they've put a lot of costs in and got their house mortgaged, against. And I feel passionate about it because I want people to have choices, to be able to make a decision. If they want that job, that's fine. But if they don't, they can create something on the side. And I know that's, for you as well, Tone, it's kind of like giving people more choice. And that's the thing that you just want to share the heck out of that, because, who's not looking for that?
So do you find that you are doing more like one-on-ones? Do you do group presentations? And Tracey and Tony, I want you both to address that, because I know there's a lot of guys going, so how are you doing this, Tone? Are you, throwing Tracey out there, whatever?
Yeah.
How is that going down?
Yeah, definitely. One of the first things I would say for any guy who's thinking about this business, why wouldn't you? It's not why would you do this business, it's why wouldn't you, right? But one of the things I would say is that you have to be a product of the product. And we are, at the base and core of this business, a health and wellness business. And we are, as you know, we are the number one business for healthy living from the outside in and the inside out. So I take my health seriously. It's my number one currency. It should be everyone else's as well. And so I share this business from a place of respect and honour for my number one currency, which is my health. And so when you do that, people will say, I'm nearly 60. And I go, wow, you look really great. What do you do? I go, well, I live for my health, because if you don't live for your health, what sort of life are you going to have sooner or later? And it's just sharing from a place of passion and belief in the products. I find you don't have to try and sell these products, and when you're talking to people and they ask you what you do, your vibration and energy, you almost don't have to say anything. And when you mention that what you're doing, they just want to know more just by the passion and the belief, the way you talk and the way you hold yourself. And I generally do it on one-on-ones. And we've been on a mission to get more men involved in this business, because we're 50% of the population and we all use the products, right? So it's a no-brainer from my point of view.
Yeah. So we've any new people that join our team, we do a couple of business launches for them, just like if you opened a coffee shop or if you opened a restaurant or a shoe shop, you'd launch it and you'd invite all your friends around and you'd celebrate. So we do a couple of launches, and then we set up some social media pages so that as you're using the product, you can just share authentically your transformational stories. So we help our people to set that up, and we do the same ourselves, set up healthy living groups. And so then people are coming to us and they're asking us about what we're doing, and then we're reaching out to people that we think may be interested in just taking a look at this amazing business opportunity. So it's inviting them to discover Arbonne events, inviting them to live videos like this, or having a one-on-one, but also inviting them to do the 30-day healthy living challenge, or inviting them to try the product if we think that that might be the best way for them. We also have product experiences and different events like that. And for anyone who wants to build their business that way, that's okay. But we've primarily built ours, using the other methods, but it's really up to each person how they want to build their business.
So how have you used social media? You touched on it a little bit, but how are you using social media to build your business and get exposure?
Really, it's a great question. And it's through a lot of Facebook, it's healthy living groups, and sharing our journey and teaching our people how to do the same thing through a social media group. When you set up a Facebook group, any posts you do just seem to, the algorithm, I think, is better, where you'll come into the feed better. And so also in Instagram, through Instagram stories and through Instagram. So letting people see you just living the Arbonne life and using the Arbonne products.
Yeah, we don't put a lot of Arbonne actually in our social media, because otherwise that might come across as salesy or spammy. So I think it's important that we look healthy, and we're living a healthy life by our own design, Lynn. I think that's the basic message in our social media, is that
showing what we do.
We're living in the best version of ourselves, and and it shines through, and people get attracted to that.
Yeah.
All right, so one of my last questions is, all right, so you're building this beautiful business. You've been in the business, well, in my lifetime, a very short time. I am glad to hear. I mean, Tony, you're almost 60. I'm just over the 60 mark. So I think we're like, and I know Tracey is younger than that. And like,
I'm 50. I just turned 50.
I know you're just a babe. All right, so what is your vision? I mean, yeah, you said yes to Arbonne, but okay, let's say, we always say to people when join their business, what do you what do you want your life to look like 5 years down the track? What do you guys want your life to look like down the track?
That's a great question. I love that. So you want to go first? You want me to go first? He lets me go first. Isn't that nice? Our vision is to just continue to transform so many people's lives. So you start off with your own transformation, and we're on a journey of that. When we started this business, I was in the bank, and this was a side hustle. Now I'm not in the bank anymore, and we get to have the time to be able to discover other passions that we've got. So we're into art, and we've discovered and we're really doing a lot of art, and we've created a bit of an art community. So we're really keen to give back, and so we've created an art community where we can bring together artists. And so our vision is to be able to have the time to be able to explore all the passions and give back in ways that we can't even imagine at the moment, but to create it so that other people can do the same. Everyone has their own dream and their own passions. When you've got time, you can really get into those. And my whole career, I've never had the time to be able to really explore that. So being able to have the time to get into the passions that we want, and we haven't kind of really locked that down, Lynn, but just to really make a difference, in our family's life, and paying that gift forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's golden. And then we go to you, Tony, because I did say on another call earlier when we were trying to get the technology going that you got, go down the track, but I'm also going to do a plug for you because I really love what
you're doing. Yeah, well, my vision, Tracey and I share our vision, and that's, we want to be more. Of course, we want to have more, but more importantly, we just want to give more, because in Arbonne, as a leader, we have a parachute, and we look at ourselves as professional parachute hand-arounders, because Arbonne is such a gift. It really is such a gift that it's kind of our responsibility to share it so much, because people's lives depend on the work we do. And we come from that place that we're changing lives here.
We had, this is a great story, and I guess this is our vision. One of our, this crystallises it for me, one of our consultants has a friend who has had some heart issues, and he joined our 30-day healthy living program, and within 1 week he sends a video to our friend, a consultant, and he's doing a happy dance, and so we get to help people get their happy dance on, and our vision is that the world will get their happy dance on, and we're doing that one person at a time, and we're making a difference. And that's happy dancing, being able to have time with family, happy dancing, getting our health back, happy dance in pursuing our passions, happy dance in having choices, all of those things, Lena.
Cool, that's great. So we're going to end this, and I need you all to hear about the Coconator. quickly, because I just think it's the coolest thing. When I met Tony and Tracey, and he had this whole idea, and he's made it come alive. And that is, he's got his Arbonne business, but he's springboarding from his Arbonne business and creating this. So a real quick plug for you, Tony.
Oh, thanks, Lynn. For anyone who's watching who loves drinking fresh coconuts, I invented this little product you can put in your pocket, and you can drink a fresh coconut quickly, safely, easily, cheaply. And this is what it looks like. It's called a Coconator.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like. And we're in about 50 or 60 supermarkets here in Western Australia. We actually got selected to be on a national TV show which airs in November, and it's called Australia by Design, airing on Channel 10 in November. So who knows, keep an eye out for your humble little Coconator.
Yeah.
But how cool is that? I mean, you start the Arbonne business and then you springboard, and that's what people need to realize, that this is a vehicle, just like you said, Tracey, that you get to pursue things that you really love and you're passionate about it. And
Absolutely, Lynn.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So that makes us happy, and that makes the world happy, and that gives the happy.
Everyone's doing the happy dance. Yes. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being patient with the technology issues. I love you so much. And
we love you. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.